What's up, everyone? I am so excited to sit down with this lovely lady and really kind of talk about everything. I mean, unless you've been living underneath a rock, I feel like Clubhouse is like the new hype. And there's some people that have been on it since November. There's some people who just got it. There's some people waiting to get in. So I figured, like, why not go live? And we could just talk about like our personal experience, our personal tips, tricks, and all that good stuff. So welcome, Veronica. Thank you so much for being on.
Thanks so much, Holly, for doing this and inviting me. And I love collaborating with you. You know, I'm a big, big fan of yours, and you're always helping us to really push ourselves in the branding world and really leveraging the authority and getting yourself out there, right? And now here comes along Clubhouse and another platform to push us to either get out of our comfort zone or connect with people. So this is right up our wheelhouse, I think.
Yeah, I'm super excited. And like, as soon as I saw how involved you were, I was like, oh my gosh, I've got to connect with her because like I mean, Veronica, you're just always on top of things as well. And I just love being in a community of women who like push each other to be better, not necessarily in a nasty competitive catfat way, but it's like, oh my gosh, Veronica's super successful. I want to be like her. Like, let's see what kind of platform she's on and everything else like that. So first off, let's kick this off and answer the question, what is Clubhouse? So I'd love to hear your definition to what Clubhouse is to you.
Oh my gosh, you know, and just so everyone knows, I'm new to Clubhouse. I mean, 24 hours in. So if I get this wrong, pardon me, but I feel like Clubhouse is, you know, you take everything talk radio, audio platform, podcast style, and throw it all in one mix and content value where you can really connect and network with others at such a high level, but yet so intimate. This is how I would define what this platform is. And I will say it is borderline addicting in a good way. Instead of listening to music this morning while I was getting ready, I was in Millionaire Breakfast Room, you know, listening to Brant Cardone and so many amazing speakers, just dropping knowledge. And oftentimes it wasn't even like I'm consuming something that I got to go do. It's more like reminding my brain how I should be operating. To me, it's just a new platform that I think is taking all the good from all the other platforms and just bringing it to another level where we can really connect and engage in a more authentic way. And I'm just hearing it in people's tonality. I feel like when I'm listening to them, they're right next to me. And I also feel so welcome and inclusive in some of the rooms where you can really raise your hand and ask a question. You've got to be patient, but it's worth it if you really want to speak to someone that you respect, that you look up to. And it's really nice to see people, including people from all walks of life. I mean, I've heard multi-millionaires, billionaires, whatever you might call it, influencers, whatever, really giving great advice to people who are just trying to get their break or just trying to, you know, get some authentic advice and genuine feedback, which I think is what's going to make this platform kick off. So I'm excited. I know I rambled there, but super excited.
Perfect. Awesome. I just want to say shout out to Tracy as well. Tracy Kuznet said hi. So I just want to say, hey, girl. Yeah, and that's exactly what I love about it, because it is audio only. You have your profile picture, as you can see our little bubbles up here, our profile picture, but that's it. So you can sit there and like this morning, I woke up and just trying to get kind of into the groove of things. I'm not gonna lie, the new year and holiday kind of have racked my morning routines. But you know, I was waking up and I was intentional though, even though I was a little bit kind of lazy, but it was like a productive lazy. I was laying in bed. I had Clubhouse on. I was working on kind of setting the pace for the day, getting my task and stuff like that. So instead of, you know, like you said, showering and listening to music, getting ready, listening to music, same thing I did. I hopped on Clubhouse. I listened to it. So Clubhouse is audio only. There's rooms. So rooms are where you can go in and hop in. You can hop in and listen in on, drop in on them, listen to what they're talking about. Or you can host your own room and, you know, kind of give value or chit chat, whatever you want to do. But what I love about it is, like you said, the connections. You can make so many connections. I've seen people get connected like in real estate where they're like, oh yeah, I sell in New York. Well, I have a high paying client that's actually looking to buy in New York. I'm like, what? Like, it's just so crazy to see the opportunity And to me, it's like, I don't know, it's interesting because I personally absolutely hate being on the phone. Um, I don't know what it is about being on the phone. I hate it. I hate talking on the phone. I'm a texter. Like, you better text me. I don't want
That is such a textable, right? I do that all the time. That was so textable.
100%. So from there, it's like I've been listening on to this. Like, I had to charge my phone. First, it was twice, but I had to charge it 3 times because I was on it all the day. And what's cool is you can do other things in the background too. It's not video. Because, like, right now, if I was to, get up and go get something to eat, Veronica and everyone else watching would see me eat something right now. Versus if I'm in a room, I can just mute myself, eat, and then unmute myself as I'm speaking. So it's super cool. It's a great way to connect. And from there, I think a lot of people are like, okay, what is it? I'm waiting for an invite. So let's talk about like the process of getting into the platform itself.
Yeah. So, with this tips and tricks, I also want to talk about some of the mistakes, right? That I've already made in day one that I want to share with people so they don't make those same mistakes that I've made. And number one was, okay, I got the invite. I waited a few days. I was trying to ignore the invite. I was like, I don't need another platform, right? Until, I started really seeing like, wait, there's some really influential people who are really pushing this. I was like, maybe I should peek behind the curtains. So I waited a few days. So that was mistake number one for me, but hey, to each his own. And then when I did accept it and I set up my profile, at first I didn't set up my bio. So I was in the house, in the club with no bio, because I was like, okay, whatever. I didn't set up my Instagram. I didn't set up my Twitter handler. So mistake number one that I would say I made was waiting, and I was ignoring it. Then I didn't set up my profile properly. I didn't attach my, social media. So I would recommend people to get really intentional if they are going to go into Clubhouse and, want to set up a strong bio, which I know you're going to talk a little bit about. Don't make some of the mistakes I made. And then you get one invite, when you're first on, or unless you have some magic connection or big network, there's all these conspiracy theories right now that I'm hearing. Like if you know people, you get more invites. But the more you engage, you are able to let people in who are on the wait list. But what I did at first, my very first mistake, because I wasn't paying attention, when I got to use that invite, I just clicked on the very first thing that prompted up on my invite list because it pulls from your phone. And this is you'll chuckle. So anyone who knows me knows I run a big team, and we have like a Zillow phone number that we use for our backup. So when it's labeled and we know that, that goes to our ISAs. I actually invited my ISA backup pickup number, which that's in cyberspace. I gave up the very valuable Clubhouse invite that I could have given to a friend to some cyber number that I have. But hey, you know what I learned? And then I'm like, wait, can I get that back? And nope. So, but what I have been able to do is because of the engagement, Holly, and I don't know if this is true or not. Again, I'm still learning. I've got some people that I'm going to be asking who have been on the platform as early adopters as early as October, November, December. Maybe if they have some insight, I'm going to definitely ping William Tong. He's been crushing it as a moderator and seems to be very, very well connected with a lot of the influencers. But I've been getting the opportunity to get people off the waiting list because of our engagement. So no special tricks to invite, at least on my end, other than just engage. Make sure your profile's set up. I've already learned another mistake that I've made already was because I've gotten into some rooms where there's some people who are just hot and heavy on it. And they invited me to be on the moderator panel or a speaker. I didn't realize it. I click a button again, you're just breaking stuff. And then I didn't realize I was not muted. So I'm sitting there in the same room with my pictures next to Grant Cardone. And I'm like, I get removed because I didn't mute. So I'm like, oh, that was my shot, right? But it's fun because we're learning. I think we're all learning. We're all early adopters who are on here. I can't wait to see what takes place. But what I have learned is, the power of this networking, the little tricks, I would say is, just follow people. Make sure you're following the moderators, following who they follow, because if you look up to them, usually the people they're following are going to be able to bring value. Adding things to your calendar, because this can get overwhelming and you want to balance your day out, right? You don't want to just sit here and, get super addicted to this and not be productive or efficient in your business. So what we're finding is scheduling your rooms, You may have to turn off your notifications if you want to balance this. But day one for me, I was traveling, so it was perfect. Pop my AirPods in and I just was going all day. Today, a little bit more balanced. Obviously, later on, I'm going to be doing a room with GoGo. We're going to talk about entrepreneurship. Can't wait to host some rooms with you, Hollie. But like anything, you have to have it in small doses. Be careful. Don't overwhelm yourself. But I'm excited to see where people take their business with Clubhouse.
I'm super excited too. And yeah, so when it comes to invites, like you said, you only get one. And also, you guys, this is only on iOS, meaning it's only on Apple devices. So like if you have an iPad, obviously your iPhone, you can download it on, but it is like, sorry, Android users, it's not available just yet. And the reason why, from my understanding, and again, like you said, there's a lot of conspiracy theories, but the reason why it's only invite only is because it's still in beta mode. So they're still testing it. So they're kind of slowly letting people trickle in versus just opening the floodgates and having a whole bunch of, problems and issues and stuff like that. So on your one invite, make sure you qualify your one invitee by making sure, obviously, that you have their cell phone number and that you're sending it to their cell phone number, and also that they are an iPhone user, an Apple user, because you don't want to waste. And I've heard a lot of people saying like, oh yeah, someone's super excited to get on, I sent them the invite, and then they couldn't use it because they're Android. Like it's not available yet in the Google store or whatever Android uses. So super excited about that. And I saw Lindsay had posted that she had sent an invite. She sent an invite, but didn't send an invite. So I lost mine. So it's tricky. It is one of those lessons learned, like Veronica said, but as you use it more, you get to engage and allow people in. So for instance, Jason Williford, I was just on, Clubhouse, and then a little pop-up came up and said, Jason's on the waiting list. Would you like to let him in? I did not have an invite to send him, but I clicked let him in, and now he's in Clubhouse. So from my understanding, you obviously have to have the people's contact information already saved into your phone. One thing I had heard, of course, we always hear rumor mills and stuff like that, was like, you have to have their phone number saved, but you never should have texted them, or you never texted them much. I'm like, that doesn't really make sense, but I know I've texted Jason before. So it's like, okay, I'm not sure what or the rhyme or reason of that, but definitely start engaging, start using it. So let's talk about, okay, so you get your invite, you open it up. Let's just talk about like the actual functionality. So you log in and you see, it's like your homepage. I'm not sure what you would want to call that, but you see your homepage, and then you go through and you see like your rooms, right? So this is kind of like the inside of it. You see your rooms, whoever you follow or whatever interest you put on there is the rooms that you're going to see on your front page. And then you can scroll down and then click explore more if you don't see anything like that. So once you get into your room, you're automatically added in as as part of the audience, right? Oh, I'm going to exit out of here real quick. Sorry, I just joined your room and didn't mean to, but you join in as an audience, and then from there, like Veronica was saying, as you talk to people or as it's like a Q&A, whatever, you raise your hand, and once you raise your hand, the moderator will be able to let you in as a speaker. So you might join a room and you see like 80 not 80, being a little dramatic there, maybe you see like 20 speakers. That doesn't mean that they're all speaking at one time. That just means they have the authority to speak. So usually the way that rooms work is you have moderator, you have usually someone that's like a main speaker or that runs the room, and that moderator will be able to mute people if they don't realize that they're, unmuted. Another thing, like Veronica said, as you get promoted to a speaker, your mic's automatically unmuted. So just pay attention as soon as you are on there, you mute yourself just as respect to the room. But yeah, super excited about the platform, and I love it because, as you guys all know, I'm podcast enthusiast. So, just talking, and it's really working on tonality. I think it's like a step, especially for those who are wanting to go live more, wanting to start putting out more information, and they're a little scared of going lives, or they're scared of like doing video. It's a little baby step toward that.
Yes. I love that. What you just said. It's baby steps. And I think even just in my 24 hours on being there, I've learned so much. And I think I mentioned this in the last room that I was in. You're going to be able to learn from other articulate speakers, professional speakers. The moderators do a really good job of saying, hey, because some of these rooms have thousands of people in. So if you get an opportunity, they want to make sure you're concise, you get to the point, that I feel like this is, what is it? The borderline, God, what is it? Toastmasters, right? A little Toastmaster taste as well. It's like, you're like, if I get my shot on stage with this person that I totally want to pick their brain, I've got to come with the question. I've been in some rooms where people are like, okay, so what's your question? And then others where they're like long drawn out, and you've got so many other people waiting to have that shot. So make sure if you get brought up to the stage, I mean, to be a speaker and ask your question, have your question ready to go. You know, one of the things that I've heard a lot of the influencer moderators say, like, okay, so make sure you say, my question is blank. You know, and if you have more than one question, my first question is this, my second question is this. Be really, really concise, because this is your opportunity not only to ask a great question, but to make a great impression. And lack of clarity can be confusion. And if you're coming across as like all over the place, it's the impression you're going to give. So if you get that shot, right, to ask one of your, let's say someone that you really look up to a question, and this could be, you know, someone who's running a Fortune 500 company, someone who's running an amazing branding company, a blog or whatever, this is your shot. Work on those questions. If I had to give you any tips, because just in the small 24 hours that I've been on it, I've been able to see some people like ramble and bomb the question, and others are like, where the speakers and the moderators have said, you know what? Hit me up on DM or send me a private message. I'd love to connect with you. I know someone who's looking for someone who wants to launch products. I know someone who would love to have you on their show. It is your shot to shine, you know, when you get that opportunity. So I want to give you guys that tip so that you can have your opportunity to really wow people.
That's such a good one. And also, side note, you said DM. So as of right now on January 4th, 2021, there is not a messaging room. There's not a method to message somebody. So what's cool about the platform is, like Veronica said, it's super important for you to connect your social media platform. So as of right now, I think there's just two methods. It's going to be Instagram and Twitter. So if you have both, put both. If you only have one, make sure you put the one, because when you're in these rooms with people and you say, okay, hey, you know, if you want this or if you want that, if you want to connect, DM me on Instagram. Like, that's the call to action to connect offline, because as of right now, there is no messaging. There's no way to take notes too. So make sure you have a pen and pad close by, or you're able to flip flop between your notes and then that platform as well. But you're absolutely right when it comes to, you know, your one opportunity to make that first impression. I watched I listened to a train wreck yesterday, and it was a very powerful, influential guy speaking, giving value, and out of nowhere, this girl who's a speaker interrupts him and it was like, hey, so for those who just got into the room, why don't you tell them about the topic? He was in a mid-sentence of mid-story. So I was just like, who is this girl, and what's the audacity? You know, she's not a moderator. You can tell moderators that have like the little check sign, little green by there. So you know that she's not a moderator. So she doesn't have that kind of power. So he was just kind of like, and he did kind of talk about like, you know, you need to listen, and, you know, not scolding her, but he did kind of make a point of like, the intention of this platform is, you know, you need to listen to people and, you know, kind of wait your turn type thing. And I was just kind of flabbergasted before she even said all that. He had just said making a connection about, because I think she was actually in real estate. Yes, she was in real estate. He's talking about making a connection with her. And then I'm thinking, like, she already screwed up that connection. That guy's probably going to put her on block list, because like, she is just crazy. And then she kept at it, because she's like, it's almost like, you know, once you get somebody, once you get embarrassed or whatever, you think in your head like, oh man, I screwed that up. Well, instead of keeping that in your head, she just kept talking over him. Oh. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I look up to you. Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, girl, like, learn, like, you got two ears and one mouth for a reason. Learn when to zip it and just sit back and say, got it, lesson learned. But she didn't, you know, obviously she didn't take that lesson learned, because she kept, and I was just like, oh my God. Like, the guy ended up just leaving the room.
And I was tips that you could say, read the room, right?
Yeah.
Read the room.
Yeah. I'm like, this is a train wreck. And it's so, like, and you know, looking backwards, like, you know, that moderator probably should have muted her or sent her back in the audience, because the whole shift and the whole energy of the room changed. And I personally left after that, because I was like, man, that's a shit show. Like, I'm not trying to be wasting my time on having, you know, listening to it. The messaging was great and the content was great up to that point. And then after that, the energy shifted. So it's like understanding when to talk, when not to talk. because you do have that mute button for a reason.
Well, I think there's going to be like anything, right? You're going to learn the etiquette of Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
etiquette of IG, etiquette of Twitter. Like, I think there's etiquette in any platform that you're on.
Yeah.
So I love that tip. You know, there were some tips that were dropped yesterday with you, me, and Renee. We were on a Renee Funk. Shout out to Renee Funk. She's been crushing it on Clubhouse as well. You know, just she did the PTR, I pull to refresh. So if you're in a room, every once in a while, you want to definitely pull down to refresh the room so that it can add some of the newer moderators on, and you could see who are, you know, who's in the room. And another really good thing is if you're loving the topic and you feel there's massive value, the plus sign by inviting other people who you feel will benefit from that conversation. Don't take offense if they don't join the room. Hey, don't take offense if they join the room and they leave quietly, because you have to understand this may not be personal. They may be busy. Maybe there's another room they want to be in. And also for me, what I've already been fascinated by, and I haven't been able to dive deep as much as I want to, is this isn't just for business, right? It could be for personal development. It could be if you want to learn more about, you know, your spirituality, fitness. I don't care what it is, bourbon, whatever it is that you're looking to learn more of. There is an abundance of knowledge and value that's being created at Clubhouse. So yeah, that's my, you know, pull to refresh. I got that from Renee Funk. Making sure that you're inviting people to the rooms if you feel that they really would find value in it. And I'll let Hollie tell us, everybody wants to know, how do they start their own room? How do they start their own club? What are some of the tips on that? You've been researching that, so give it to us.
Absolutely. So like I said, once you log in, like this is like the screen, you'll see. So as far as starting a room, you'll see that calendar right here. Ooh, there we go. My images are flipped, so it's making my off a little bit. So like then you'll see that, and then you'll click this button again. And then that's going to be where you create your event. You start your room. You can add in your co-host. You can add in, if it's just yourself, obviously there's no need for that. Add in the date, the time, and then the event name. So that's how you schedule one, which I heard, you know, obviously, again, rumor mill, it's kind of all hypothetical because we aren't exactly sure yet of the platform. But that's what I had heard is the best. But now if you just want to go out and just do a pop-up room right now, just go down there with the green button and it says start a room. So super easy. And that's what I liked about it too, is like, it seems foreign, obviously, because we haven't seen it before, but as you start working through it, it's pretty seamless. So that's going to be starting a room, and anyone can start a room. If you just hopped onto the Clubhouse app, you can immediately click start a room. So that's nothing that you have to do, like wait for. But now as far as, let's see here. Now, as far as the clubs, so you can create a club, and a club is going to be just that, like a group of individuals that have common interest. It's not a room. A room is going to be an active audio session, versus a club is going to be a group of individuals with the same likes, interests that kind of are, you know, in the club together. So when it comes to starting a club, they do have some restrictions as of right now. And what they do, and I'm reading this off of their site so I don't misinform you guys. So they do have an unusual high volume of club requests right now. Of course, that's no shocker because of the platform being so new. But so they are prioritizing club right now for people who already have hosted a weekly show 3 times and sticking to 1 club per user. Now, I just chat with somebody yesterday who had 3 clubs. So like, you know, when did he get his clubs? What, you know, it's just interesting to kind of see that, and then hearing that somebody's gotten 3 clubs. So as you get engaged in the platform itself too, you start getting invites, from what I've heard too as well. So like when that guy said he started a club, each time the club was added to it, he got like 5 or 6 more invites, so that he can intentionally invite people to his club that he just founded. So it's super interesting. It's cool, but it's just kind of exciting how it's like all like we don't know what's going on. There's no like set in stone, like this is it. This is how you get it. It's all beta. But I'm super excited. So yeah, like get in the app once you get your invite. If you don't have an invite, you can go ahead and hop on there and reserve your username. And I definitely would, because I always think of that as like a domain, right? Like first and last name. I mean, I doubt there's another Hollie Kitchens spelling it my name, my way, but you never know. So like you go in there, reserve whatever it is, name that you have, and then you can hold on to that name until you do get an invite, or until somebody who's in your contact list that's on there can let you in. So once you get in, first and foremost, number one thing to do is create your bio. At least that's what I would think. So Veronica, you have some great pointers when it comes to creating your bio. What are your top tips and tricks on what you should include in your bio?
I learned from you just yesterday. My first 5 bullet points that I put is like, who do I want people to know? What do I want them to know about me?
Yep.
So mine is, look, I'm a real estate connector. That's what I do. I didn't put a real estate agent. I didn't put where I was at because I feel like I'm worldwide. I want to be worldwide. I want to connect with people all over the globe, right? Definitely state that I'm a team leader of a high profile team. We sold over $200 million last year. Inman Innovator of the Year. We've been recognized as the most innovative team of the year back in 2017. I sit on Zillow's advisory board, and I gave some of our I would say street cred, right? Because I know that that's the audience I want to engage with. I want to engage with other top profile agents. But then I hop on my calendar if you want to connect. I put my calendar on there, which links them to Facebook, IG, Twitter, all of my handles. And then I also put my cell phone number on, but I am gonna do a little hack. I'm going to implement my call action number that's going to specifically be assigned to Clubhouse because I want to know how much engagement I'm getting through that number. I want to know who's reaching out to me because of Clubhouse. So I have my team assigning a specific number today for Clubhouse. Because someone texts me through that, I want to know that I'm putting them through the correct funnel or engaging with them in a very authentic way, different from where I would engage with them on Facebook or IG. So that's something that I personally, I don't know if this is going to be something that's successful or that, it's going to get me new engagement and relationships, but I'm hoping it does. Then I went a little bit more into an in-depth. So if you go to my profile, you'll see the bullet points. You'll see the opportunity to hop on my calendar, connect. And I didn't say, clarity call or this. I just said, look, if you want to connect on a deeper level, you can hop on my calendar. Here's my number. Let's connect. And then I go into what my passion is. They get to know me a little bit better, which I'll read it over to you. Veronica's true passion is to inspire and help others with directional wisdom to follow their dreams. She will inspire you to take action. She will inspire you to become the leader you were always meant to be. Because if anybody knows me, that's my true passion, right? I want to help people reach their highest level of success, no matter what industry they're in, no matter what walk of life they're in. So that's kind of like my mantra of life, right? I'm here to push you, to help you, inspire you, because if a girl like me could do it, anybody could do it. And then I set up another kind of like breaking point in my profile, and I'll kind of show you guys. So I have my cute little emojis there. Then I've got a break, and then I go another break where you can have a little bit more information on what I've done in my career and my success that is verifiable. That's how I ran with my profile. And in the last 24 hours, I've had about almost 400 new followers. So I'm hoping it works. I'm sure I'll adjust as I learn a little bit more. I don't think I have this figured out. I'm just working with what I know, the little bit that I know. But
100%, you crushed it. And I'm curious too, just to circle back on your question, on your phone number. Do you use Google Voice or what? How do you assign those numbers?
So I use call action in our day-to-day business for our real estate business, but I can use call action phone numbers for a conference. Like if I want to give a text, this number to this, and I could put like, Clubhouse. So right now I could put out a number and say, hey, for the best tips on Clubhouse, text Clubhouse to this number, and I'll give you my tips, tricks, and overview on, Clubhouse, right? I can even embed this video that when they text that number, Holly, it can send them this video. So I like call action. Shout out to my boy, Jesse, who has been a big influencer in our business. We use it for our real estate business, but you can also utilize it for other parts of your, let's say your branding strategy, call to actions, and really getting people into the correct funnel.
I love it. And Tracy Kuznet had said, thanks for the bio tips. And I'm curious because Tracy is another very powerful, successful woman in real estate too, who is always on the A game when it comes to social media. So I'm excited to see what Tracy does with the platform too as well. We'll definitely have to host some women, rooms that hopefully we can get a club going, because that's what I love about the core group of women that we run with. And I know right now, the people that we know, there's so much other people like us. So I'm excited to connect with more people and create that, that sphere of that just keeps multiplying, because obviously, when you come from abundance, it's a lot more enjoyable. So I'm super excited to see what she does with the platform, because that girl is always on fire.
Absolutely. And here's the thing. Here's the thing that I feel already in my soul that I need to share with people. This is an opportunity for you to be an early adopter on a platform. So if you're ever like, oh, I got to Instagram too late, or I got to Facebook too late, or I didn't do this, or this is your opportunity to like reset. Be like, okay, you know what? Like, let me learn this. Let me break it. Let's just go in there and have some fun, right? But again, this goes back to value. Are you adding value? The rooms that you set up or whatever you engage in, make sure that it's not self-serving. Make sure that you're coming from a place of bringing value, that you're able to say, invite people to learn and grow together, not just you. This is not a commercial about how great you are. Obviously, if you're going to use this, because a lot of us who follow us are in real estate, if you're going to use this to engage in the community, make sure you're adding value. If you're going to use it to connect with people, again, us EXP agents, we already get a bad rap, right? But those of us like Hollie and myself, we're always just pouring value. So we're not recruiting, we're attracting, we're leading by example, but we're connecting with people no matter what the outcome is, because we know we can all bring value. But my point with this was, get in there and be intentional. Get in there. If you're going to start a room, make sure the room has something that you would want to stop and listen. This is your opportunity to stop the scroll, right? Get people to join into your room and stay in your room. And the only way they're going to stay in your room is if value is being delivered. So I would just say to everyone who's maybe thinking about it, do not be a fly on the wall only. Participate, raise your hand, start a room, bring value. And next thing you know, you're going to have so many people inviting other people to your room because they feel like they're getting value. And next thing you know, you're the next big influencer on Clubhouse. Yeah. You're the next big, famous person out there bringing value that people want to follow because you've done something for their business. So I think if you come into Clubhouse with that mindset, not what you're going to get out of it as far as like, what business can I get, but who can I connect with and what value can I give and receive? I think that we're going to see a lot of big Clubhouse influencers be born.
And it's so crazy because, like, obviously we all know that we can message or reach out to people on Instagram, on Facebook, through private messaging, so on and so forth. But like, this is like a live interaction, like right now. And it almost reminds me of like a modern day talk show.
Yes.
You go on there, you hear voices, and you just kind of like, you watch them, and then you get to raise your hand. You get to have your turn on the stage. You get to talk, or vice versa. You get to, host your own stage. But the possibilities are limitless. And like you said too, just going back real quick on a tip when it comes to bios, making sure the most 3 lines are the super important. I heard 4, but to me, I feel like it's 3, because when you click on someone's name, and I'll give you guys an example real quick. So let me hop into a room.
Because most entrepreneurs, have that
hold on, sorry. Let me mute this real quick. When you hop into a room and you see people right here, right? This is going to be the names. So when you click on one of them, you can see his first 3 lines, right?
Yep.
And then you see like this girl right here, put up her name so she don't see, but like she only has 2 lines. So she's losing valuable real estate by not having 3 key points into her bio. So like, have the 3 key lines, because when you click on her bio, she has more on there, but you lose that because when you click on it, like I'm like, help grow, whatever, you can't even see exactly what she does. So making sure your first 3 lines are like eye-popping. This is what I do. This is, maybe a call to action, whatever it is. But then below, then you can use all that space down below to say, okay, hey, this is, this is who I'm a real estate agent with, instead of just saying, hey, I'm, this amount or whatever. You always think too, is like, what do you want somebody to tell? What's your elevator pitch? And then sum it up in 3 bullet points so that people want to connect with you. And, it's super exciting because it is so new. And like you said, we can all be pioneers in this. If you don't have an invite, like I said, go ahead and reserve your name. Reach out to your friends. Don't be shy and post like, hey, I'm looking to get in, because I saw like over the last day, I saw like at least 10 people get in just by posting that. So don't be embarrassed to ask for an invite. But however, on the flip side, if you have an invite, I've seen on Reddit where people are auctioning them off or selling them off for like $10 to the highest bidder or whatever. But just know this, the platform is on invitation only, and that person's going to be connected to you. because you let them in. Now, if they come in there acting a fool, it's going to come back on you. So be careful of who you invite into it. Don't try to be silly and sell it off. And I've already heard too that they're also looking into people like doing that so that they're blocking them from the platform. So don't be silly over $10, $15 to sell that invite. Be intentional about it. Come from a place of abundance. Find somebody who you know that would actually utilize the platform and actually take advantage of it, and use that invite for that person and not for some rando you're trying to sell it on.
Right. Hey, so Hollie, so I had this thought in my head because I'm not sure who is not on it or who is on it that may watch this later on or right now. But, you know, for anyone that hasn't had a chance to join in or hasn't gotten their invite yet, you know, they're hearing all this stuff, but to this moment, they still don't know what it looks like behind the scenes. We talked about bios. We talked about, you know, what it might look like coming in, but like, can we tap in on a room right now and so that they can kind of hear the type of content?
Absolutely. Let's see if we can hop into something. Let's see here. Load it up. So like I said, it's all about on your interest, who you follow. So like, for instance, it's Monday. Now what? There's a 2021 real estate trends growing your customer base. So Dustin Black's on that one. I'll just click on that one real quick.
Strategy. I will tell you, just because I have a biased opinion behind wholesaling, I coach a lot of people nationwide on wholesaling. And the reason why I like wholesaling is it teaches you the art.
See, then I just got an invitation to become a speaker.
All those future strategies anyways.
So
wholesaling just simply.
I'm mute my mic because I don't want to make that mistake.
A couple times it's just the art.
So then you get added as a speaker. So you go from
properties. And a lot of people think that wholesaling is
others in the room, which is the audience. Then there's an area that's like people who are followed by the speaker.
Deeply discounted properties.
Let me turn this down so you guys can kind of hear what I'm saying. And then there's the speakers up here. And then the moderators are the ones with the green ticks that you see right here. So like Veronica was saying is, you know, making sure you are becoming friends and following those moderators, because that's going to be who, you know, establishes the relationships, add value, because they're more than likely to also to add you into another room because they know that you're not some, you know, fan girl or boy. I think a lot of mistakes a lot of us make is like, you know, Grant Cardone's on the stage and you're like, okay, you got to ask him a question. Oh my gosh, Grant, you're the best thing ever. It's almost like when you're at a concert and you go to meet and greet and you start like, oh my gosh, I love your music. It is like, calm down, get yourself together, and you know, be intentional and make that great first impression. So is there, before we hop off of here, Veronica, is there anything else you want to add or chat about when it comes to Clubhouse?
You know, you gave a great tip this morning and I've already implemented it. I was like, what do you want people to know you on, right? Your photo, like you added the little ring around it. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I could either go in there with my proper real estate, you know, profile picture, or I'm going to go in there like with my personality picture. I get to be who I want to be, all of the Veronica Figueroa personalities. So I went with the profile picture that shows who I am. I'm always daring to be different. I want to express my personality. I love to help people. So I changed my profile picture to reflect who I want people to see when they first come and check me out, right? Hollie, you used one of your speaker photos and then you added the ring. You created a template on Canva. So like I would just say is be intentional with your picture, you know, just be you, have fun, be authentic. And we're all learning this. Like Hollie and I, we don't have like any Clubhouse certification. We're learning this as we go. We figured we'd come on here for those of you who are not on Clubhouse and let you know what it's about. And those of you who are on it and yet still navigating through it, like, let's break this shit together. Let's click some button. Let's meet some people. Let's connect with people. And if I had to give you any advice, and this is what I have done in my entire business career that has helped me open up doors, is pull up a chair to the table that you were not invited to, raise your hand, break down some doors, follow the people that you look up to, and get to action by making those connections. And I can't wait to hear everyone's success stories on Clubhouse.
I can't either. And that is a great last words there. You know, don't allow yourself to hold yourself back. I mean, that's the whole purpose of this platform, is to really just kind of connect. And then also too, it's like, no one's going to die, you guys. Like, what's the worst happens if you get tongue twisted or make it be yourself silly? They'll just boot you down the audience. No one's dying. So just have fun, make your connections, make it personal purposeful and make sure it's intentional. But yeah, super excited, you guys. Make sure you follow us on Clubhouse. As you can see at the bottom, our usernames are scrolling, but it's at Veronica Fig and then at Hollie Kitchens. We would love to connect with you guys. And for those who are listening in who aren't just yet on the platform, feel free to comment on this post too and say, hey, I need an invite. Me personally, I'm out of invites. However, maybe somebody who has invites, or if as we keep continuing to engage in the platform, maybe we'll get some more. So don't be shy. Ask for an invite. Let's get in there and let's take it over.
Yeah, and if you guys felt that you got value out of this, share it, because you never know who else might need some tips and tricks and wants to connect and wants to have that safe space. I think Hollie, Renee, and myself, we will be scheduling some rooms where we talk, I think for the next few weeks, about the tips and tricks and overview, because we're learning every single day. So make sure you follow us.
Absolutely. You guys, looking forward to it. Make sure you stay connected, and we will talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Bye.